voice like that. Anyway, we're here to talk. This is February, balmy February. So do start watching your birds closer. Love is in the air. Traditional nesting, the bulk of the nesting tends to start in February and wrap up in June. Different birds nest at different times of the year. And these birds aren't here. I'm sorry, these are American avocets. They nest further west. They go through romaines further west, but occasionally you can see an avocet here in the wintertime walking along the shoreline. They're kind of shorebirds. So love is in the air. Oh, pair bonds come down to 2 words. In the bird world, pair bonds, everything comes down to 2 words. I can do this in 2 words and we can go home and have coffee. Female choice. Is that a huge surprise? Just like in the mammal world? Anyway, females pick their partners. And how do they choose a partner? In some cases, his beauty, his beautiful song, in some cases, his attentiveness. That's very important. How does she judge that in advance? There's going to be a time she's on the nest, and he has to be attentive to her and bring her food, basically, while she's incubating. Some, the male and female take turns incubating. By his scrappy, protective behavior, she wants a bird that's out there, a male partner that's out there being scrappy and keeping danger away from her, and his real estate. Male birds have to claim territory. And defend that territory. You're going to start seeing some different behaviors around your bird feeder as some of the two male birds of the same species start looking at each other. Wait a minute, this is my place. This is my place. And so they have to claim territory around, and she wants. And the female wants a male bird that's got great territory, i.e. lots of food, because that's all she cares about. Now, if it's a prothonotary warbler, which we've mentioned before, it's lakefront property. Oh, she wants lakefront, because that's where they nest, right on the edge of the lake. Same is true of a wood duck. I love this book. Here's a copy, my personal copy. If you get really, really deeply into this whole topic, this was published by the University of Tennessee Press in early 90s. This is my signed copy. It's written by Charles Nicholson, and he and I were both in the bird club at the same locally. But it's about the species of birds that build nests and raise families that breed in Tennessee. And there's 170 species. So the interesting thing about the book, there's range maps that show you just what part of the state this bird nests. In some cases, it's just high up on the Smokies. It's high up in the Smokies. Some cases, it's in the valley. They're hard to find online. Your local library probably is the best place you can just check it out. So that's Chuck's book. We've already started to some degree. Great horned owl started courting last fall. Late October, November, December, the male is there in his territory, and he's calling out, who's awake? Me too. And then perhaps his female partner from last year will come and join him. Perhaps not. Maybe it didn't go well. Female choice. She said, it didn't really go that great last year. I'm not coming out. You got beautiful trees. Anyway, but there's a time in November, December, if you live near great horned owls, and they tend to like to be deeper in the woods with a lot of evergreen trees. This slide doesn't quite show it, but they're really like pine trees and fir trees, things like that. So that started earlier, and by now, she's sitting on a nest. She's probably been on that nest for a couple of weeks, so they've probably hatched by now. So and great horned owls, one reason we think they nest very early, an owl doesn't know how to build a nest. And a great horned owl doesn't use any interior nest box or a hollow tree. So what do we think? This is just a little bough and the tree there, but we think they nest early because they take over an abandoned crow's nest or hawk's nest because the crow and the hawk's not back yet and already to get started. So they hop up on those two nests and get started there. So they think that's one reason. Plus, it just takes a long time to raise their clutch. So there she is. Another one that's already started more than likely is the great blue heron. They nest in a rookery. You probably know where there's one around somewhere close to the water. There may be a sycamore tree with 10 nests in it. And the first male back claims the first best nest. He doesn't necessarily be the nest he and his partner used the year before. He claims it, he stands there. She's going to love this. She's going to love this nest. Wow, it's got a view of the setting sun. She will love this nest. And then she will come in later, and over the course of just a few days or weeks, every nest gets claimed. So then the late guy, oh my gosh, I'm going to start over, and I'm going to have to build a whole new nest. And so he starts building a nest. So that's how come the rookery slowly grows. That's great. Blue heron, and then when she comes in, they dance together. They dance together, and both the male and female grow those long nuptial plumes, is what they're called. This is one thing that almost did them in around in the late 1800s, because the fashion today was a hat with a very long white plume, and so we almost did this poor bird in, but that was made illegal in 1908. Anyway, those long nuptial plumes, now they've come back. They were really only in South Florida, and they've worked their way all the way up to here. But they both joined, and they dance and dance. And how you been? It could be his mate from last year again. She may come in and say, you know, you were really good last year. I'm just going to pick you again, darling. So anyway, that's great blue heron. It's estimated that 90% of all species form pair bonds. 90%. So any of you all that's raised a family, you know it's hard. And it's easier if you have a partner to help you. So 90% of the birds form pair bonds, and some of those pair bonds will last just one clutch, maybe 2 or 3 clutches, and maybe for an extended several years. You just don't know. The books say mate for life, and that could be true, but it's so hard to determine. Some birds live longer than others, so they mate for an extended period. This is the couple to watch. My mourning doves are already kind of cooing up with each other, and this time of year, it's not I took that photograph, but it's not lovely and green like that. But just watch your mourning doves if you have them around. You're going to see 2 of them kind of side by side on a branch, and maybe doing a little of this, a little of that. You go, uh-oh, because they start early. And he's very attentive to her, and there's billing and cooing. They start early. They can have 6 clutches a year, 2 at a time. They only raise 2 at a time, so they're very intense parents. He helps with every bit of it. He helps build a nest. He helps incubate occasionally. He brings her food. He helps feed when they hatch. So 6 clutches a year. So a pair of mourning doves, if the weather is conducive and if we're doing well, can produce 12 young ones in a season. That's why right now when I'm feeding, I've got 8, 9 mourning doves coming in early, and I like to sprinkle out some seeds just for them on the railing of the deck, so that's eye level and I can watch them. And this is what I'm looking for, all that. Hi, how you been? Or a couple of males that are starting to get scrappy. I know this is one of your favorites. We have 3 wrens in the area. That's a Carolina wren. We also have house wren and winter wren. The winter wren's only down, they nest high in the Smokies. You may have one around. They're a little petite wren, but they're very shy. But they'll be moving back up slope to nest. But these little guys, they're bouncing around, whittle, 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 bouncing around. And he is so eager. And he wants to prove to her he's still got it. They maybe their second year together, or 3rd or 4th, he will start building multiple nests. And by building a nest, it's like I would build a nest. just cramming a bunch of soft leaf foliage together. It's not nice and lacy like the other pretty bird nest. And eventually she will come in and go, and when she starts helping finish one, then okay, we got a winner. She likes this one. So it's really, that's what's going on with them. They're very scrappy. And he will be chasing away the other wrens of his species. Oh, I don't know how these guys survive winter. They're bright, gorgeous, bright red, and they can't hide that well. Cooper's hawk must be colorblind or something, but he's strutting around looking at me. I got it. And then she's looking, yeah, you got it. Typically, she will pick the brightest red male that's available. If she tries to pick a male that's already got a partner, that partner will go, get away from here, sister, get away from here. And so he starts also claiming territory. You may have a mated pair of cardinals in your backyard. You may have a mated pair of cardinals in your front yard or side yard. You actually may have 2 or 3 mated pair of cardinals. And he is defending the nest, he's defending his territory. Territory. That's part of how she picked him because of that gorgeous color. And the brighter red males are the males that actually did eat a little more keratin. Now there's keratin in sunflower seeds, so just eating sunflower seeds will keep him red. But if he eats some berries in the fall too, holly berries, viburnum berries, those kind of reddish berry, that red will flow into his feathers. Anyway, she's looking for the best looking male that's available and with the best territory. Then I've already seen this going on. He'll take out the sunflower seeds and say, I'm going to take care of you. I am going to take care of you. We're going to raise a family, you and I. And so I've already seen this happening just outside my house. And this is part of what he does to take care of territory. If he sees a reflection in a mirror or a window, he'll go bang against it, because he thinks he's got an intruder. He's not quite, maybe it's a younger red male that doesn't know what a mirror is, I don't know. Anyway, I once had it when I was at Hines, had a phone call from a man, I think it was from Morristown. He said, help me, Satan is trying to get at me. Satan is banging on my window. And I thought, should you not have called a priest? Anyway, I said, tell me what Satan looks like. Oh, he's a bright red bird, just Satan. And he looks at me and flies against the window. And I said, listen, I don't know if you're feeling guilty about something, but it's just a cardinal who thinks there's an intruder. So if you have that problem, you can put stickers on your window or something. So that's a cardinal. And then truthfully, I love this photo. She is just as aggressive as he is. I've never seen this, but a female cardinal will bang against the window too to chase away what she thinks is another female in her territory with her guy. And she's kind of looking at him like, what you looking at? That better be another male, not a female you're looking at. What's going on here? So anyway, that's cardinals. And they build a nest deep in a shrub, almost eye level, very deeply hidden. Anyway, bluebird. Well, I love bluebirds. This is a bird we almost lost. They were rare in the 1920s, but what brought them back were bluebird boxes. Anyway, it's an eastern bluebird. They're certainly back in good numbers. If you don't have a box, try to get a box up. If you got one box, you can put 2. But this is a bird that's been studied so intensely, even the Bluebird Society. We definitely know their territory range. It is 100 yards. So wherever you put your box, 100 football field all the way around it is his territory. He's going to claim and chase away other birds. Now, if there's a building or something where you can't see the other box, they can be closer. But that's what I had a friend call me, I've got a male bluebird banging against the window of my car, what's going on? And her car was within that 100-yard circle of her box. So you could have more than one box, but this is a bird we really brought back by putting up boxes for her. and other bird species will use the same box, so don't be fretful there. The biggest key to the box is that the opening is only 1.5 inches wide, and a starling can't squeeze into it. Or the starling would take over the box. That's one thing they learned early, is if they make the hole too big, a starling will be take it over. Anyway, he will claim a box and jump around and to chase away all other male intruders. And a female will come in and take a look at him and go, well, you know, you look pretty good. You know, she won't think I've seen better, but you look pretty good. But I like your box. I like your location. There looks like there's plenty of food around me here. And she will start to build a nest. And she does build a nest, but he will defend the box and not let another male bluebird within that territory, because they eat lots of insects. So that's a bluebird. And I think I got a photo of him bringing some food in, and she's going, and he said, I'm attentive, I'm bringing you supper. Looks like a bee. Ooh. Anyway, that's okay. Anyway, that's a bluebird. Carolina chickadee. Chickadee-dee-dee, chickadee-dee-dee. My first book, the first chapter, is about this bird because they're so special. This is probably the first bird you see at your feeder every morning, a little petite chickadee, and they bounce around. But chickadees, oddly, how their system romance works, if you can call it that, it's hierarchy. They're eventually in your little group of chickadees that's at you around your house. More than likely, the oldest male is alpha chickadee. So if alpha chickadee flies in, the other lower ranking males are, okay, no, you eat first. No, you eat first. And the same is true with the females. There's an alpha female, and when she wants to eat, the lesser, which probably is the younger chickadee, female chickadees, no, you first, you're alpha. You've survived, you're alpha. And so typically alpha male and alpha female, they hook up. Because they're, it's like royalty, they hook up. But sometimes, female choice, alpha female says, something about you, alpha male, that just gets me. I want to go with beta male. He just seems a little more pleasant. Please don't take that badly, please. But so it's female choice. She may pick another lower ranking, but it is, and they're secondary cavity nesters, so these will nest in a bluebird box too. Don't fret it, it's fine. That may be why you need a couple of boxes. And you can put, if there's two boxes close to each other, a bluebird will use one and a chickadee will use the other. So, and they'll be fine with that. They only are chasing away their own species. Tufted titmouse. God, I would have named this bird tough titmouse. They are aggressive, and they have they're very closely related to the chickadee, so they have a social hierarchy with alpha titmouse and male and alpha titmouse female. But they can be very aggressive with each other. I took this photograph a couple of years ago. I'm assuming they were both males. If that's a female, I don't think so. I'm assuming they're both males, but I watched them. They were first just doing chest bumps of each other. It's like a wrestler. And all of a sudden, and they were laying on my deck. That was it. Wow, March 11th, 2019. What happens to time? You ever sit around at night going, what the heck happens to time? I look in the mirror and it's my grandfather. Geez, scary. Anyway, I finally went out to him and took a quick snapshot, obviously. But if you look closely, each bird had the other bird by the eye socket. I know. These are scrappers. And she's probably sitting back, oh, whoever wins this one is mine. Anyway, so honest to goodness, after I took the photograph, I went over and picked them up. And they were still laying in my hand. Guys, come on. And once I started doing this, they took off. But anyway, they were determined that one of them, and you could almost, honestly, I'm not making this up, you could almost hear a whimper. Let go, I hurry. But they finally did let go. So that's, Just beat it, beat it, beat it. That's what you'll start hearing. Beat it, beat it, beat it. Tuck your tip mouth.
So she chose you?
Hmm?
She chose you. I said she chose you then.
Yeah.
Took me that one.
I have to be, if I'm out on the deck, I have to just not say much. Anyway, again, you'll see this when, you'll see this, but they're loud. Beat it, beat it, beat it. Beat, beat, beat it, beat it, beat it. They're incredibly loud. You will start hearing this very soon. Anyway, you will also start seeing this very soon. And he will start bringing, I'm attentive. I'm going to bring you food. I'm tough. You saw me beat that other guy up. Well, I didn't quite beat him up. That big guy came out and shook us. But anyway. Mockingbirds. This is really interesting. This is one of the birds I had at my, it's not a seed. Mockingbirds don't eat seeds, but it was at my heated bird bath this morning. Oh, goodness, thank goodness, thank goodness, thank goodness. But this is mockingbird. It's maturity. Mockingbird is one of the 3 species locally that constantly are learning. Most birds learn vocalizations in their first year. A chickadee learns all the chickadees he or she needs in his first year, but mockingbirds, they keep learning phrases and keep learning, and that's how, that would be the 3 we have locally are catbird, brown thrasher, and mockingbird. They keep adding phrases to their song, and I read a thesis somewhere, I can't recall, I read it online, but I can't remember where it was written, that a female will choose the mature male. And the mature male is determined by his sound, how many phrases he can sing, how many phrases he can sing. So she, wow, he's got a great playlist. I'll never get tired of him. And so that's how she will pick the older male, whereas the two-year-old male mockingbird maybe only have 20 song phrases. And he maybe, I get calls at night, I've got a bird singing at night. And I says, probably an immature male mockingbird that hasn't found a female yet. And most of the others are shutting up at dark, but this poor guy is still, Mr. Lonely Hearts, is out there with his 20 phrases. And I said, the best thing you can do is see if you can go find him a female and put it in Craigslist. Wanted, unattached female mockingbird. I've got an eager beaver over here. So it's the sound and the quality, and male and females look alike. So that's the mockingbird. Crows are very similar. They're very, very loud. I won't do a crow because it'll make everything fall off. Anyway, but they sing loudly, and you know what. But when they're together, and I've seen this once, they were on a branch and they were just getting closer and closer and kind of nuzzling each other. And he was making these little gurgly sounds and little wobbly sounds to her. And then they were grooming each other. It's like, uh-oh, I know what's going on over there. So they'll bow. Anyway, that's the crows. Where's my time? Oh, we're flying. Anyway, blue jay. Again, female choice. Blue jays, you will soon start seeing small groups fly through your area, more than likely. And that will be kind of a courtship group. It is female-led. She's known as the focus female. And the little group will all follow her. And the group is made up of males and females. And they're following. All the males want to be chosen by prima donna. They want her to pick, and they keep following, she'll fly into your yard, Jay, and all the others, Jay, she's happy here, Jay, and then she'll take off. No, she's not. We're leaving. Bye, guys. Come on, we're leaving. And I'll follow her. And then she puts them through the test. This is really March through July. You can see this. She put them finally, and the younger females will be going, I can do what she's doing. Why am I? So she'll peel off, assuming that some of the younger males will follow her, and they do. So eventually that courtship group will dwindle down, and you may have the focus female and one male that's been following. And she'll go, I've been watching you. I've been trying to get you to watch me anyway. So after she's like, okay, You're good, you stayed with me and we've done what, 35 miles? Okay, so that's how they'll bond, is all the endurance that he has put into following her. Barn swallows, they'll be back soon, typically mid-April. So this is one of the migratory birds that come back in, and they eat insects. And the females will pick the male with the longest tail. And that's how this has evolved over time. He'll have long tail. It's only swallow that has that long tail, and you can identify him by that. So she will, when she's looking around for a partner, she likes a long tail. She's not going to say why. I'd love to know why do you. This is okay. Who's next? Cerulean warbler. Oh my goodness, this is a warbler I write about in my third book, and I drew one, and it's on the cover. But I'm using this cerulean warbler as kind of a typical of all the warblers. The male warblers that are now still in the South, still in Central America, South America, they will soon start migrating in. Typically it's April. The males come first. It's a wave of males, and they want to get to their territory and claim the best territory. So, at Cerulean's Nest in the Cumberland Mountains, just north of us, and he will claim if he gets up first, he claims a ribstone. Oh, she's going to love this. Look at this view of the valley. Oh, she's going to love it. So the males rush back first to claim territory, that when the females come in, oh, I love what you've done here. This is gorgeous. So that's one of the tricks of the warblers is claiming good territory. And did I think I mentioned that for a bluebird buck, it's 100 yards. That's one bird that's been studied so much we know. Each bird species has a different size territory they claim, and they do have to defend it. So it's really the territory that has the best amount of food that he can claim. Yes?
What if you have in the backyard and the front yard and it's less than 100 yards?
They don't see each other.
So
You can't do that. If they don't see the box, each other's box are not threatened. It's just it's just the boxes. Okay, where's that? Let's move on. This is the bird, American goldfinch. It actually nests pretty late in the year. It nests May into June, and because this is what she wants to line her nest, so a male will come in and claim an area that's got what the botanists call pappus or fluff. It's just like the same thing on a dandelion. It's a piece of fluff to carry a seed when the wind blows. Well, this is a thistle, but there's other plants that produce fluff or pappus that's seed carrying fluff. And a female goldfinch wants to grab it and line her nest with it. So the male goldfinch claims territory if it's got a lot of this in it, nesting material. Then cedar waxwings, they nest very late. They nest because they're fruit eaters. They are. This is a species that can raise young ones on just fruits, tiny berries and fruits. So they typically start nesting in June, and typically the cedar waxwings, as you know, they'll come into your backyard. If the holly is got berries on it in the fall, may have 30 or 40 birds together. Well, by the time that you get around to June, those large groups start breaking up into smaller groups. And the smaller groups will find an area, a neighborhood or an area that's got a lot of fruit trees blooming or not blooming, producing fruits at that time. Like mulberries, they produce pretty early, as do a serviceberry. So they will pick an area and that has plenty of food. And then again, he will pick foods for her and feed her and say, okay, I'm going to take care of you. But this is really fascinating. And again, I read this in a thesis, online thesis, I don't remember. Waxwings are called that because they had the little extra, and I've never discovered what the dollop, I always call it a dollop at the end of their secondary feathers that looks like sealing wax. and both males and females have it. And as they age, the little dollop is bigger. They'll molt and drop that feather, but the next year it comes back in, and the little dollop ending of the secondary feathers. Secondary feathers are the feathers along the trailing edge of the wing. It's just a little bigger with age. And somehow this we love grad students. Somehow this grad student got permission to catch a bunch of waxwings, flock of waxwings is probably a better term, and put it indoors in an arboretum and watch them. And try to figure out how they paired up. And what he figured out, or she, I don't remember who wrote it, that a female will choose a male that's got similar sized dollops. That's a male that's roughly her own age. She doesn't want a youngster. She wants somebody, they can sit around and talk about the movies they love and the books they read. Somebody they can share. We're both 8 years old. I don't want that 2-year-old. Anyway, that's how that she chooses, simply by that. And then he better be witty. Now, can we call everything I've just talked about love? Can we call it love? According to philosopher Descartes, he believed that animals operated purely by instinct, like machines or mechanisms. They did not communicate, care, or even think about other animals around them. They did not feel, did not love. I flunked college philosophy. 101, blew it, God. It was like they were speaking in a foreign language to me. I had to take it again, retake it, and barely got by. Anyway, that makes no sense. Poor Descartes must have never had a dog. If he had had a dog, he knows a dog will love you to death. If you fall over dead, a dog's gonna lay right beside you and die. That's a dog. So I want to think, Descartes, someone should at least give you a dog. Anyway, now here we are. We're advanced human beings from Descartes' era. You're seeing the word love a lot of places. There's a wonderful nature out there called Love in the Animal Kingdom. Oh, if you ever get a chance to watch it on PBS, it is just wonderful. It talks about birds, but other species too. And then there's a great book. I have this book at home called Bird Love. So all of a sudden, in the world of ornithology, the word love was starting to pop up here and now. And of course, the ornithologists are going, no, you can't use a human word like love. Yes, they pair bond, but not love. But anyway, so they were slowly being backed into a corner. And then this is an article I get the Living Bird magazine from Cornell, and this was an article in 2020, How Do Birds Fall in Love? And I thought, well, if Cornell can use the word love, I can too. So they fall in love. So thank you, Cornell. Cornell is the university for ornithology. Anyway, what is love? It's caring, protecting, comforting, petting, mutual praying, providing for, sharing, active partnerships. That's everything I've been describing for the past half hour. That is love. And so, yes, birds love. They coo together. You can see two together and they go, oh my, you guys, come on, get a room. Do they mate for life? That's another thing that's awfully debated because it's very hard to study a single pair for years. I mean, that grad student's going to have to just hang in there forever to get that done. But it's generally now believed that to do mate. Many birds mate for extended periods. Whooping cranes, they have a very extensive pair bonding period that the male and female may spend 2 or 3 years together, just hang out together, like you used to do in college or high school, just hang out together, go places together, go to movies together, just be together, just get to know each other. And I have read that during that 2 or 3 years, the female go, darn it, and she may move on. But eventually, if they've been together a while, all of a sudden, oh boy, they start that dancing just like the great blue heron. And you know what's about to happen here? Birds of prey tend to mate for extended periods of time. Red-tailed hawks tend to mate for a period of time. That's the hawk species I've got the most experience with. That's a pair of red-tails hanging out together, and they may have been together for several years. And then bald eagles, same thing. Initially, and a bald eagle doesn't start looking like a bald eagle or get sexually mature until it has the white head, dark body, and white tail. A younger bald eagle, 3-year-old bald eagle, is really just solid brown all over. So that's a pair bond, and the pair bonds tend to start forming when they develop their adult plumage, and that's when they start hanging out together.
So
We're
the male
lucky
and
to
the-
have so many here. Yes,
The male and the female look exactly alike?
yes, she tends to be a little bulkier.
Oh.
Yes,
When do they start nesting?
February.
Okay, so they do
Yeah,
nesting.
according to Chuck's book, typically in Tennessee, a bald eagle female is on the eggs by 3rd week of February.
Wow.
That's another facet thing. Again, Chuck's book was written and published by UT Press in early 1990s, so some of the material is probably off a bit. Things change, but that's the date I use when I talk and where I got that information. And then this, if you're outside, and I've seen this, and see bald eagles or even even the red-tailed hawk or the red-shouldered hawk, and they're doing this elaborate thing in the sky where they're doing this. They're dancing in the sky in essence. They're courting in the sky, and at some point they'll reach out and grab each other's feet and just kind of swirl to the bottom, holding on to it's almost like a trust building activity. I'm going down, and all of a sudden they let go and fly back up and start dancing again. So this was a cover of Audubon magazine a couple years ago. Going in alone. You remember I said earlier 90% form pair bonds. There's one beloved species locally that do not do that, and we all know what it is. He's a stinker pie. She's really only interested in him in maybe, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it takes. Anyway, and then she moves on because she's kind of a stinker pie. So female hummingbirds do everything else. Once they've spent that nuptial time together. I don't have a blackboard. I'd draw it. Anyway, no, I wouldn't. I'd be too embarrassed. Anyway, she's finished with him, and she said he was too pushy. But according to Robert Sargent, she kind of wanted, like the titmouse, a pushy male, because she wants her young ones to grow up pushy, because when they go to Costa Rica, they have to be pushy down there, because they're one of the smaller hummingbirds down there. So that is a male ruby-throated hummingbird on my thumb.
Wow.
If I pass from this earth, and I'm sure I will, this will be the photograph that runs with my obit. This is Stephen Lynn's thumb. I'm proud of this photograph. That little bird just hung onto my thumb, and Rex happened to be there with the camera. This is basically male courtship. This is basically a hummingbird courtship. Back up. No, we don't need to back that far. She will be watched, and this happens May and June. You're going to start seeing hummingbirds, traditionally males, in early April. And again, it's like the warblers. The males are passing through, moving to their home territory. Birds tend to come back to home territory. And by late May into June, migration's over, so those are your hummingbirds for the summer. And then I have seen this. just having coffee, looking through the window, out on my deck. I had seen this. A female was just sitting there. He chased her away from the feeder, and then she was sitting over, kind of watching, and he went, "Uh-oh, that's a girl. That's a girl." And so he started doing this dive bombing thing where you're really showing off. Right above her head. Look at me. I'm fast. I'm agile. You're gonna want me. You're gonna want me. And eventually she said, yeah. And what have you got, baby? And anyway, that's it. Then she's gone. I write about hummingbirds in the third book of Emerald. Well, you got time for an epilogue. I got 5 minutes. I love this epilogue. This is just, again, this just draws it, this just puts it in caps, everything I've said. This was a story that made the rounds. Forget the year, and I don't have the year. I get Discover magazine, and but it was in other publications as well. It was such a sweet story. This is a pair of, obviously, Canada geese, and it was two that were hanging out at a nature center in Massachusetts, and they had been together, and everybody watched them. But all of a sudden, one day, they looked out, and the male was limping. So they went out and was able to round the male up and bring it in to look at what was wrong, and it had torn its foot somehow, and they called in a vet, and the vet was able to stitch it together, but it had to be in for a while to heal. And so while it was in, they named them, the people there at the nature center, named them Arnold and Amelia, and Arnold was inside for 2 weeks. Amelia would come every day and knock on the screen, on the sliding door, and they would let her in. And she would come in and rub, "You're gonna be okay, Arnold. They're gonna take care of you, Arnold. You're gonna be okay." And then she would leave, and they'd close the door. But she came every day for 2 weeks. And if that's not dirty love, that's goose love. Goodness. Anyway, I love that story. It's a great way to finish this. And we are done. Thank you.